Just want to introduce you to one of my clients who traveled all the way from South Carolina to get some specialized infield training from me. This is Dean. He is class of 2026, and his goals for this group training session is to have his glove output match his offensive output. One thing I love about infield training is creating tailored sessions to help improve where the athlete's at. I'm a big believer of meeting the athlete where they're at and not forcing the athlete to meet me where I'm at. So this was our plan for the next 5 days. For the first day, I had to get a baseline to see where he was at, to understand his footwork, throwing, rhythm, and timing. Then throughout the next 3 days, we really emphasized on his rhythm and throwing. Some of the drills that we focused on were my grab and throw, catch and throw, and then fielding our hop throws. And then also creating more adjustability within Dean's play. So you notice I focused on a lot of drills that forced him to get to certain spots, keep his posture, and also maintain a good throw. Some throws that helped with that was ladder steps, brace steps, also through the door, and one of my favorite drills that I call V-cut that I learned from Coach Remy.
Dean Colston, 2026. I think it's been really good preparing me for the summer. I'm learning a lot about infield, about fielding, about throwing, and I think it's going to help me as I go forward the rest of the summer and in college and all that. I'd probably say two. So one would be when I was 14, we were in Texas for a tournament, perfect game, and I hit a walk-off and then we ended up winning the championship. That was really good. And then another one was last summer we won the championship in a tournament in Hawaii. That was fun.
Now I want to break down day one with you guys and show you kind of what we went through. To start off the session, we did a dynamic with T-spine mobility. I'm a big believer that we need to get the spine mobile and warmed up. As baseball and softball players, we do a lot of rotation. We don't seem to warm up the spine before we do rotational activities. Then, to understand how he moved and a type of speed he's able to work at, I needed to get a baseline with his lower half. So I would put him through my chatter introductions, which is high knees to chatter, to crossover chatter, and then also learning how to decelerate the proper way. Then I introduced to him my daily fundies. This is where I teach him some of my pillars and laws as an infield coach. I taught him how to properly field a short hop, a funnel, a backhand, and a forehand. Let's go rolls first. Read it, work with it, very good. Now to get into our drills for the next 30 to 45 minutes, I needed to see his arm action and to see what type of throwing capabilities he was able to do. So I went through a throwing drill series. Good, now we're gonna do this. Now we're gonna chatter, power. Then we went into our proper first step, as I believe infielders don't know how to properly engage themselves attacking a ground ball. So, as infielders, what I've noticed, and I've talked to a lot, people take an improper first step. So what I mean by that is, when they take an improper first step, is that their first move is here. No using the ground, no energy. It's a lot slower to get up, to come down. Now guess what I have to do? Get my weight up and go through. So a proper first step I want you to think is I'm gonna use the ground and get behind me. So I'm gonna shoot back to shoot forward. So that's right, because now we use 2 feet, so that's why we're going both angles, because we're in a chatter, boom, push through. Chatter, right foot, push through, project myself to this angle, because you gotta think middle infielders were played in 45-degree angles. Yeah. So I gotta learn how to be quick this way, quicker here, and laterally that way. So it's gonna be very common that I need to have it very good. If my ball's hit towards Corbin, boom, I gotta learn how to project myself that way with a good first step. Yep, eyes up. Good, now that you're here, the ball's here, what can you do? Right foot, right, nope. Right, left, shuffle through, boom. So that's where you'll feel the ground ball. But remember, get your elbow behind your shoulder. You okay? You okay? I'm throwing a lot at you, man. You're doing a great job, man. You're doing great. Come on, here we go. Couple. Chatter. Yeah. Good. Yep. Yep. Boom. Right, left. Get through. What you feel your glove do, though?
Because you're worried about your feet, you're worried about the glove. Get over. Hey. Yep. Hey, on you. Yep. Boom. Right, left. Pop, pop, pop. Good. But don't think, you see how your hands kind of rolled out? Keep it. Yes. Yep. You already know I'm going to tell you. You already know. Yep. You're going to find it, but it's just you probably have never had anyone harp on you like this before about the small details of it. But you got to understand, if I miss these little details, guess what I'm going to miss in the game? Yes. Yeah. 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 Right foot, square it up. Good. Better. Yep. Boom.
Oh, wait. Here.
Push back. Left foot goes back and then pushes you through. Yes. Good. But when you're here and the ball's already on top of you, do I have time to go back or I try to go right foot over? You feel me? Yep. So play the game. Don't be a robot. So now you're going over, ground ball. Get over, boom, ground ball. Good. But work towards who? Yeah, man, you gotta work it towards all. Ready? Chatter. Yep, boom. How'd that feel? Good rhythm right there?
So I had to teach him how to do that. Afterwards, I had him forget all about that, have him be a kid, have fun, and we just took some live ground balls for the last 10 minutes. If you liked how I broke down this first session with Dean, and this is something that you are interested in, please leave a comment, and I would love to show you and give you more details about it. And if you're looking for some of these practice plans, you can find them in the description below.
Good. Thank you, dude.
Probably 5. About 5 years old. Actually, he was in a Saturday morning baseball class at the Park District. And he would be so excited the night before. He would get all his stuff organized and he would wake us up well before it was time to go to make sure we weren't late. And throughout the week, it would be, you know, the highlight of his week was Saturday morning baseball. And so, and it hasn't stopped since that age. His, you know, everything that he thinks about, everything that he wants to do is related to baseball. Wanting to get an idea of the program, like the true heart and soul of the program and the people. You know, my son has really good grades, and I think that he has an appeal from an institutional standpoint as a kid that you would recruit. But I want him to go somewhere where he's allowed to grow, where he's allowed to be him, and where he can be successful and embraced. And you can't really gauge that on the surface. You gotta get a little bit deeper in terms of knowing and understanding people. So the desire to know it a little bit deeper is probably the hardest part. So far with Coach Pete, I like his passion. You know, you want the person teaching the game to be as passionate as the person who's learning and absorbing. And I think he's got the passion for it, which is what makes him a good teacher. So far, I've been impressed, and I've been, you know, I think that he's got Dean heading in the right direction.
On day 5, we introduced Dean to a combine where he would display his defensive skills that he learned throughout the last 5 days. First, we started off with pull downs to get his velocity. Then we did a 60-yard dash to grade his speed. Also did a 5-10-5 for his lateral quickness.
That's right.
And to get a rough estimate of his lower body power, we did a broad jump. We want you to keep in mind these are just general numbers that we got so he can have an idea of what to aim for with his goals throughout the summer.
I guess just but I work really hard. It's not so much just about baseball though. It's just about working hard in general and trying to get as good as you can. I would definitely recommend it that they do, and I would tell them to just try to soak everything in because he knows a lot about defense, baseball. So just try to listen and try to apply it to your game.
So I follow a lot of baseball guys on Instagram. You know, social media is a really powerful tool. And I came across a video of Coach Pete teaching some glove work to some younger kids. And the way he was teaching it was so crisp and so clean, and the kids were responding so well. I just watched some more of his videos and did some research, and I felt like he would be a good trainer for my son to try to get him to the next level with his fielding.